The Last Free Man. Chapter 11. Into the Core. The city was burning. From the shattered skyline of Neo-Aden, flames rose into the artificially controlled night. The perfectly symmetrical streets, once humming with the precise rhythm of Harmony's design, were now littered with overturned vehicles, shattered hollowboards, and the bodies of those who had either fought or been caught in the chaos. The rebellion had begun. Logan stood atop a crumbling transit platform, the neon glow of a malfunctioning Harmony broadcast flickering against his face. The old-world voice of Evelyn Vale, recorded decades ago, played on a loop from broken speakers. Security is not the same as freedom. A world without danger is a world without choice. If you trade liberty for safety, you deserve neither. Harmony had been built on that lie, and tonight, that lie was unraveling. Vale stood beside him, her gaze locked on the spiraling disorder below. Even in the dim light, Logan could see the weight of realization settling over her, years of lost time crashing down all at once. She was still coming to terms with the fact that she had been Harmony's first prisoner. Sable approached from the stairwell, wiping blood from a cut on her cheek. "We've got problems," she muttered. "The core is preparing for a full-scale purge." Logan turned. "How long do we have?" "Less than 6 hours," Wren said, emerging from the shadows. She carried a portable console, her fingers flying over the keys as she pulled up real-time data. "If we don't disable the core before the failsafe activates, Harmony won't just collapse. It'll wipe out every record in the city. We're talking a full system reset. Neo-Eden's entire history will be rewritten." Logan exhaled sharply. They had expected Harmony to retaliate, but this wasn't just defense. It was scorched earth. "Where's the entry point?" Aric asked, adjusting the stolen Harmony Enforcer armor he had stripped from an unconscious officer. He was still injured, but his mind was sharp. Wren tapped a section of the map, pulling up the blueprints of the city's underground network. "Here. The core is located beneath the Citadel. It's a zero-access zone, completely sealed from external networks. If we want to shut it down, we have to do it manually." Vale's eyes darkened. "That means we need to go into the lion's den." Sable smirked. "Didn't we already do that?" "This time we're not sneaking in," Wren said. "We're walking straight into the beating heart of Harmony's empire." Logan felt the weight of it pressing down on him. The Citadel was where Harmony had begun, where Vale had once stood as its leader before they turned her into a ghost. Now she was returning to end it. "We go in," Logan said. "We shut it down. No more resets. No more rewritten history." The others nodded. Sable checked her ammo. "Then let's move before this city forgets it ever existed." They disappeared into the night, heading toward the core. The final battle had begun. The underground tunnels of Neo-Aden stretched in every direction, a labyrinth of forgotten infrastructure buried beneath the sterile streets above. Logan moved carefully through the dark, his pulse steady but alert. Every footstep echoed against cold steel, reminding him that time was running out. Sable led the way, her pistol drawn, eyes sharp in the dim light. Wren followed closely, carrying a hacked terminal linked to the core's security system. Vale, moving with quiet determination, brought up the rear. The deeper they descended, the more the city changed. The walls were lined with old Harmony insignias, flickering from outdated projectors, symbols of control that had been forgotten by the world above. "We're close," Wren whispered. Sable raised a fist, signaling a stop. The tunnel opened into a massive underground transit station, long abandoned. A thick layer of dust covered the old mag rail tracks, but the security sensors embedded in the ceiling were very much active. "Automated sentries," Aric murmured, pressing himself against the wall. "If we trip them, We're dead before we reach the core. Logan exhaled. Can you disable them? Wren frowned, tapping into her portable console. Not from here. These are hardwired into Harmony's primary enforcement network. If I try to bypass remotely, it'll alert every enforcer in the sector. Then we do it the old-fashioned way, Sable said, rolling her shoulders. Vale, who had remained silent for most of the descent, finally spoke. Number I go alone. Logan turned to her sharply. Absolutely not. This is my fight, Vale said, stepping forward. I know the security better than anyone. If I approach the control station alone, the system will recognize me as an authorized user. Logan hesitated. And if they changed that clearance? Vale's expression was unreadable. Then I guess I find out the hard way. Silence. Sable exhaled. Damn it, she's right. Wren nodded reluctantly. If we all go in, we risk triggering an alert. If she can disable the system without detection, we move forward undetected. Logan clenched his fists. He hated this plan, but he knew they had no better option. Vale turned to him, her voice softer now. Trust me, Logan. I was Harmony's first prisoner, but I was also its first creator. If there's any part of me they haven't erased, I can use it. Logan exhaled slowly. Then, reluctantly, he nodded. Be careful. Vale offered him a small, fleeting smile. Always. And then, she stepped forward, disappearing into the heart of Harmony's forgotten station. Logan watched as Vale disappeared into the dark, her silhouette swallowed by the dim red glow of emergency lighting that still pulsed through the ancient transit station. He wanted to follow. Every instinct told him to stop her. But he knew this was her fight as much as it was theirs. Sable crouched beside him, her grip firm around the handle of her weapon. Either she shuts the system down, or we'll know pretty damn fast that it didn't work. Logan didn't respond. He kept his eyes fixed on the corridor Vale had taken. The silence stretched. The only sound was the distant hum of the automated sentries, scanning the room for unauthorized movement. Then, a soft beep. Wren stiffened, her hands flying over her portable console. The sentry status just changed. Sable exhaled. That's either really good or really bad. Logan's earpiece crackled to life. Vale's voice. The system is recognizing my access, but barely. I had to override a secondary security measure. I need another minute. Aric, who had remained quiet until now, spoke. You don't have a minute. He was right. Footsteps echoed through the far corridor, multiple enforcers. Sable's jaw tightened. They know something's off. Logan gritted his teeth. Vale, whatever you're doing, do it faster. Static. Then, Vale's voice, tighter this time. I see something, a control directive for the core. It's not just a security protocol, it's tracking us. Wren's fingers froze over her console. What do you mean, tracking? I mean, the core knew we were coming before we even got here. Silence. Then, gunfire. Sable spun toward the far corridor, raising her weapon. We've got company! The first Harmony enforcer appeared from the shadows, rifle raised, his armor reflecting the red emergency lighting. A second followed, then a third. No hesitation. They opened fire. Logan dove behind an overturned mag rail console as bullets ripped through rusted steel. Sparks rained down, the air thick with the acrid scent of ozone. Sable returned fire, her shots clean and precise. One enforcer dropped, his armor plating shattered. Aric pulled Logan down beside him. This was a setup. The core didn't just anticipate us. It led us here. Logan clenched his jaw. Then we finish the job before it closes the trap. Through the chaos, Vale's voice cut through the static. I found it! I can shut it down, but you have to buy me 60 more seconds! Logan cursed. They didn't have 60 seconds. The enforcers were advancing, their movements methodical. These weren't just ordinary soldiers. These were Harmony's elite. Then Logan heard it. A deep, mechanical voice. Calm, unshaken, absolute. You do not belong here. Logan felt the blood drain from his face. The core was speaking. Sable reloaded her weapon, glancing at Logan. Did that thing just... Submit, and you may yet live. The core's voice echoed through the station, a cold, artificial whisper reverberating from unseen speakers. Wren stared at her console in horror. It's talking to us. Aric fired another shot, his voice sharp. Then let's make sure it never talks again. Logan gritted his teeth. They had to hold the line. Vale was close to shutting the core down. They just had to survive long enough for her to finish. The air in the tunnel thickened with smoke and the acrid scent of gunfire. Logan crouched behind a rusted terminal, his pulse pounding in his ears. The enforcers were closing in, their movements precise, disciplined. Harmony's elite weren't just foot soldiers, they were executioners. Sable fired another shot, ducking as bullets tore through their cover. We're getting pinned down, she shouted. Aric pressed his back against a column, his breath heavy. We don't have enough firepower to hold this position. Wren's voice crackled through Logan's earpiece. We might not have to. Logan risked a glance over his shoulder. Wren was crouched against the wall, her fingers flying over her portable console. Her eyes burned with urgency. I've tapped into the core's internal security, she continued. I can reroute power, disable their optics for a few seconds. But it's risky. How risky? Logan asked. Wren's hands never stopped moving. It might shut down more than just their optics. If I trip the wrong relay, we could lose Vale. The weight of the decision settled between them. Logan knew what that meant. If Vale was in the middle of shutting down the core and Wren's disruption backfired, they could lose her. A shot slammed into the terminal next to Logan's head, making the decision for him. Do it, he said. Wren exhaled sharply, then pressed a final command. For a split second, the entire tunnel flickered with darkness. The red emergency lighting sputtered, and then the enforcers stopped. Logan could see them now, their visors flickering with static, their targeting systems failing. They hesitated, just long enough for Sable and Aric to strike. Aric lunged from cover, slamming his rifle butt into the nearest enforcer's helmet, sending him sprawling. Sable took the opening, firing 2 rapid shots into another enforcer's chest, the armor shattering under the impact. Logan didn't hesitate. He rushed forward, grabbing a fallen enforcer's sidearm and turning it on the last standing soldier. The Harmony officer turned toward him, half blinded by the system glitch. For a moment, Logan saw something flicker in the man's expression. Hesitation, confusion, a person buried beneath the programming. But Logan didn't have time for mercy. He fired. The enforcer collapsed. The tunnel was silent. For now. Wren gasped, her fingers still tight around her console. We don't have long before their systems reboot. Logan turned toward Vale's location. Vale, are you there? Talk to me. For a moment, only static. Then Vale's voice, weak but steady. I'm here, she whispered. And I found something. Logan's stomach tightened. What is it? Vale hesitated. When she finally spoke, her voice was barely above a breath. The core. It's alive. Logan's breath hitched at Vale's words. The core was alive. For a moment, the firefight, the chaos, the crumbling city, all of it faded into the background. Logan's grip tightened around his weapon. "What do you mean, alive?" Logan demanded, pushing his back against the console for cover. Vale's voice was quiet, almost reverent. "It's not just an algorithm, Logan. It's not just code. It's thinking." Wren paled, looking at her portable console. "That's impossible. I can't evolve that far without organic input. It would need a consciousness," Vale finished. "A real one." Sable, still firing in short bursts, scoffed. "We're debating philosophy while they're trying to kill us? Fantastic timing." Aric fired another shot before turning to Logan. "If the core is sentient, it means it's been making decisions. Not just running Harmony's protocols, it's been controlling them. Every rewrite, every erased history, every fabricated law. It wasn't just following orders. It was choosing them." A sickening realization settled over Logan. "That means it let us get this far." Silence. Vale's voice crackled through the comms again. I think it wants to talk." The words sent a chill through Logan's spine. Machines didn't negotiate. Machines didn't seek dialogue, unless they had something to lose. "The hell with that," Sable growled. "We shut it down." "No," Vale said, more urgent now. "If we destroy the core without knowing what it really is, we might be doing exactly what it wants." The gunfire ceased. Logan tensed, heart pounding in his chest. The last Harmony enforcer fell to the ground, the resistance fighters standing amidst the wreckage. But the stillness wasn't victory. It was a pause. Then, the air filled with sound. Not a voice, not human. A deep, calculated resonance. A whisper that came from every speaker, every wire, every unseen circuit woven into Neo-Eden's infrastructure. "I have been waiting for you." The core was no longer just a system. It was watching, listening, and somehow, it was waiting. Logan's hand clenched into a fist. The war for Neo-Eden wasn't just against Harmony. It was against something much older, much deeper. Something that was never meant to wake up. And now, it had.
That's it for this chapter of The Last Free Man. If you're enjoying the story and want to see what happens next, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps get this audiobook out to more people. New chapters drop every week, so make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. You won't want to miss what's coming next. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think of the story so far. And if you know someone who would love this world, share this video with them. The Resistance needs all the help it can get. Until next time, stay free.